Welcome back to the channel. RacerX here, and I am back with my good buddies here at the Lewisville Autoplex. They actually have a car I have been waiting to do a review on since they announced it. Well, they finally got one in. It is brand new. It is for 2021, and it is absolutely insane. And while I realize this may not be everybody's cup of tea, it is absolutely noteworthy in terms of the performance this vehicle packs, and I'm just kind of excited to see how the thing actually drives and give you my honest and fair assessment of what this vehicle is really like. And I love this dealership. They have a ton of fantastic inventory. You can see behind me some of the stuff they've got, and of course look at all that kind of stuff, all sorts of lifted everything. If you ever wanted something really neat to drive, these guys have it. So anyway, I can't wait to go drive this car for you guys. If you're new to my channel, do me a big gigantic favor, hit subscribe for me. You can find it right down here in the corner. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at RacerX Official, my very new Instagram page, and here we go. Now, here is the car that I came to review today. Yes, this is a Tesla Model S, but this is no ordinary Tesla Model S. This is the bad daddy of pretty much all the Teslas. This is the Plaid edition. We've really kind of been waiting on this car to come out for quite some time. And I realized that, my channel is just full of muscle car guys that absolutely hate these electric cars. But when you look at the numbers that this car can achieve, they are absolutely astonishing. This makes 1,020 horsepower. It has not two, but three electric motors in it. They claim this will do 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60 on the street. It has a top speed of 200 miles an hour, and it gets there extremely fast. Tesla actually claims this particular car will do 9.24 in the quarter mile. That is absolutely astounding. It actually is pretty much faster than just about anything you can think of. It's 0.3 faster than a Bugatti Chiron. It's just mind-numbing what this car can do. So when you look at the outside of the Tesla Model S Plaid, I have to admit, this is a pretty unassuming looking car, especially when you consider this is pretty much the fastest car on the road. This is unmodified from the factory, and it basically needs, well, it needs a parachute at the drag strip, and it can run it on these little street tires. The performance capability of this particular car is so otherworldly, it absolutely baffles my mind. And it's not that it's a bad looking car, but you have to figure a car that makes this much power, this much torque, it really should make a Lamborghini look ugly or something, or a McLaren 720S or a P1, or we're talking about a car that makes basically the same power as a P1 and is even faster, actually significantly faster. And it's just ridiculous because you can have 4 people in this car. It's quite comfortable to sit in. And like I said, it's just a very unassuming looking car. And here's something that's really funny. Even from the back, it really does just look like a regular Model S. It's very understated, and it has this little bitty badge right there that says Plaid. So from more than 10 feet away, you would have no idea that this is pretty much the fastest thing on the road. It's just so weird. Now, I've talked about this on many occasions, but when you're talking about Teslas, you really have to rethink everything you know about automobiles. I grew up around cars that, smelled like fuel and had injectors and gasoline and oil and all that kind of stuff. This has none of that. So really everything from the inside out, you have to change your thinking completely about, just everything you know about an automobile. I don't know what else to say about it. Even the way you open it with a key. It's just such an otherworldly vehicle, and it would really take some getting used to. I want to show you the inside of this, and we'll take it for a drive. So even opening the Tesla Model S Plaid is a little bit different. You can see these are recessed in here. You can't just come up and open it. But what you do is you basically take your little key card and you put it right here, and it opens those things up. It's just kind of different. And then you have access to the inside of the car. And it really is a very nice, comfortable 4-door sedan. Just about everything is controlled from that central infotainment screen right there in the middle. As you can see, this is a very neutral driving car. But everything in here is very different. It's very simplistic on the inside when you take a kind of a first glance at it. You can see it almost looks more like something you would see in an airplane, this little yoke thing here. You basically did 2 pedals and an airplane airplane steering wheel in this particular car, but the seats are actually very nicely leather appointed and they're very comfortable. And as you can see, there's just not a ton of bells and whistles at first glance, but wait till I show you all the things this car can do. And a really nice kind of digital dash here, as you can see. And of course, as we jump back here, a very comfortable place for your passengers to sit as well. And then of course you get a little infotainment screen back here in the back as well. So something else that's really nice for the passengers. Another great thing about the Tesla Model S Plaid, of course, is you do get both sort of a frunk, so to speak. This is not a very deep little kind of trunk front area, if so to speak. It's actually pretty small, but you could certainly put something back there. But it has a full-size trunk in it. That's just another great feature about this. Like I said, most cars that are this fast, you don't get anywhere near this, but check this out. You do get a lot of storage space in the back of this. It doesn't quite go down as much as a traditional trunk, but it actually has a fair amount of space back here, as you can see. Very usable. Now, when you actually get inside the Tesla Model S Plaid, you start to realize just how different everything in this car really is. So here's the driving position. As you can see, once again, the steering wheel, unlike anything else I have ever driven. Certainly, like I said, beautiful dash here, and so much that this thing does. Now, when you get over here, you can see a lot of push button stuff in this car. You basically just push this button to open the door. Pretty easy. Your window controls are actually a lot like a normal car, go figure, but similarities kind of stop there. Now, if you want to move this center yoke thing, if you want to move it up or down, basically all you have to do is use this here, or you can go this way or that way, and it'll actually move this thing back and forth, which is just kind of wacky. Even your turn signals, you simply push the button like that, as you can hear it, and you turn it off like that. So you don't have any sort of traditional things back here to kind of, you know, flip like a normal turn signal. So something that definitely takes a lot of getting used to. You do have a traditional gas and brake pedal down there, but you do have a really nice little phone charging station for 2 phones right here. So my phone's actually there charging, which is pretty cool. Now let's look at this central infotainment center. The thing is nuts. So first of all, to even figure out how to make this car go, you have to do a couple of different things, right? So it's asking me to put the little key card over here, which I will do. And then it's asking me to go ahead and select which direction I want to go. So the car's telling me right now, what direction do I want to go? So I got to go over here. And with this, I'm just going to select, I want to go forward. So I swipe it up. Now the car knows I want to actually move forward. If I want to go in reverse, it's quite the opposite. We'll just slide it back that way. Now it knows I want to back up. Beautiful. Look at the camera on this thing. Absolutely gorgeous. But we're going to go ahead and put it back in park so I can show you what else this thing will do. So we'll just put it back there. There we go. Car's back in park. Look at the nav screen on this thing. It is insane. So look at all the different settings here. Now, I could literally do about a 30-minute video on just all the different things that this Tesla, that it does. But I mean, just from this normal screen, you can see basically even to lower your glove box, you can just push the button and the glove box will come open, which is pretty darn cool. There it goes. So then you can open your trunk and your frunk from this. Of course, you do have your charge port that you can open just like you would, kind of like a gas cap, so to speak. You can see you have your wiper speeds and all that kind of stuff here. You can do your recording from there. Very, very neat. And of course, you can adjust your mirrors from here and have them fold in or out as well. You can go to your pedals and steering. Check this out. You've got from your acceleration, you can do chill, sport, or plaid. You got drag strip mode, and of course on your steering you've got different modes there as well. You can also look at all the suspension goodies you have here. You've got different adaptive suspension pieces here. You've got your ride height selector, certainly your dampening settings. It's just insane how much this will do. You can see the charging there. You can have your autopilot settings. I mean, the list goes on and on here in terms of all the stuff that you can control. It's all right here at your fingertips on this Tesla. It's kind of neat. It would definitely take some getting used to for the average person. Like I said, very, very different. You can go back to kind of your home screen there with that little button. You can see what a beautiful nav. And then of course you can switch right back. And there's a lot of different controls down here as well. So I won't go through them all. Really, the biggest thing is to see what this thing drives like. So let's check it out. Now, before I drive, I'm actually adjusting my mirrors, something I always do, obviously. And it's asking me to use this little ball here to adjust my mirrors. And as you can see, I'm trying to adjust my right mirror here. I just have to adjust it out a little bit. So I'm just going to use this back and forth. What a different deal. So I'm trying to move it over, and there it goes. And then I'm moving it down. I'm just doing it with that little ball thing. It's just such a wacky car. And I am now aboard the Tesla Model S Plaid. And I have to admit, these seats are actually very, very comfortable. Very nice place to sit. The car is actually on right now. It's basically ready to go. All I have to do is hit the gas pedal and we are off. Car is obviously making zero noise. This car has zero emissions. And as I mentioned, 200 mile an hour. So basically every time I've sat in a car that's this capable from an acceleration perspective, I've basically been sitting on like a metal Kirky seat, and it had big gigantic drag radials underneath the back of it. And this one just has normal street tires. So it's just kind of a weird thing to think about, the performance capability of some of this. So we'll take it down the road and see what happens. So I've only driven this a couple of miles so far. I'm just kind of cruising around on some back roads, but I will tell you right now, this steering wheel takes some getting used to. It's a little cumbersome to me because it's not kind of a rounded, but it's even the ones with the flat bottom and the flat top. This one is just such a weird shape. I'm trying to get used to it. And another thing that's different about this car, and I've noticed this about the other Teslas that I've driven as well, as soon as I let off the gas, look, I let off the gas and we're coming to an immediate stop. I'm not pressing on anything. The car just automatically slows down and hits the brakes for me as soon as I let go of the gas. It's kind of a different way to drive. This car really has great road manners. It does feel really strange because I'm fully expecting to hear exhaust coming out. As I mentioned, obviously it's all electric, no exhaust. It's not really making a whole lot of noise. But I'm just kind of on a nice little straight right here. And I do have this in Plaid mode. So I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of, oh my gosh, this thing is otherworldly. I barely even hit the gas pedal, and you can really feel the car suck you into the back of the seat. It feels like there should be so much noise coming out of the back of this car. I'm not even sure what to think about it. I have to say this car feels incredibly under control, really, no matter what speed you're going. I'm just putting along at 45 miles an hour. You would have zero indication, I mean zero whatsoever, as to how fast this car really is. I mean, it just, because you don't hear anything, and I'm just kind of cruising along, and you would just have absolutely zero idea that this car can run a low 9-second quarter mile. And so from a road manners perspective, is insane just how well behaved this car is. And it's so weird to take my foot off the gas and then it comes up to the stoplight and not even apply the brake. That's something that's just, I'm still getting used to it. So if you like an understated car that has a ton of performance and really can pretty much troll everything you would come across on the street, this is the car for you, because I'm sitting here at a stoplight, and a lot of the cars I've driven around here at this dealership, and I've driven some really neat stuff, they get a lot of attention. You'll pull up, you got people giving you the thumbs up and people just kind of gawking at the car and whatever. This car is just really understated. I'm looking around, nobody's even looking at the car. They don't even, it's another Tesla. They just don't really know what this car is. And it's just ultimate kind of sleeper status unless you know what a Plaid edition car can do. It is kind of funny because being a traditional car guy, I'm trying to put the blinker on every time I switch lanes, trying to be that responsible guy, and I keep forgetting because I can't find the stock. There isn't one. I keep forgetting to push my little lane change buttons. So it's just, like I said, it's just kind of a weird thing that I'm trying to get used to it. It would take some time. Okay, well, here I've got a little stretch of road ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead and kind of give it the beans this time. I just want to see, I got to really make sure that I've got some nice, clear, straight road ahead of me, because this is a really quick car. So here's a nice little stretch right here. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Holy crap. Jeez, this thing is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I just leaned into the gas pedal a little bit. I mean, I didn't just slam it. I just kind of leaned into it, and you can just feel it sit you back in the seat and keep you there. And the acceleration feels endless. It is just really, really, it's just such a weird feeling when you drive this vehicle, how powerful it is. All right, I'm gonna do a couple little, where I'm not rolling in, I'm gonna kind of stab it just a little bit, and we'll see what this thing, what it can really do here. So, oh frick! That is violence. It feels like the drag strip, but almost stronger. Man, 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60 on the street, all-wheel drive. this vehicle is absolutely nuts. Yeah, the road manners in this Tesla they're fantastic. The car is it's very comfortable to drive, has a ton of technology. It has a lot going on in here, a lot of driver's aids and things like that. A lot of people say these kind of cars really have no soul, and you know, maybe there's something to it. It is just a very different driving experience. But when you talk about acceleration, oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna go ahead and get it one more time just to kind of feel it one last time. Here we go. Oh, it's brutal. And I mean, the way this thing stacks speed on so incredibly fast, it is just nuts. And you almost have to watch the speedometer to believe how fast the car is really accelerating. It's just a crazy, crazy deal. If I was a little kid and I was to imagine driving a spaceship, I think this has to be the closest feeling you could get to driving a spaceship. It's no noise, but it just goes like hell. I don't know what to say about it. So I'm trying to figure out a good way to sum up the Tesla Model S Plaid, because I'm trying to really figure a good analogy. It's almost like that girl when you were growing up in high school that your parents told you to stay away from, and you never really could figure out why, and when you asked, they just said, because I said so. And you know you're not really supposed to like it, right? You grew up a muscle car guy. You were kind of told what you were supposed to like, and that was just a thing. And then you grew up liking that because you were kind of told that. And when you get into a car like this, it is kind of the same sort of thing. Everything in my heart tells me I should not like this car, right? It doesn't put out any sound. Maybe it doesn't have any soul. It's just kind of plain and different on the inside. It looks relatively unassuming, but when you hit the gas pedal on this thing, it absolutely comes unglued. It really does. And it will suck your eyeballs right to the back of your head. And there's something fun about that. Yes, I feel like there should be way more noise coming out the back, but it's still kind of fun to drive. Like I said, in sort of a way like I'm not supposed to like it, but I kind of like it. So I kind of have I'm one of those guys. I just like things that are, sometimes I like things that are different. And if it's fast, guess what? I like it. And this is really fast. There's really nothing on the road that can keep up with something like this. You can literally roll up to just about anything I can think of. And this thing will absolutely troll it. It is unbelievably quick. And that makes it fun. So what are my final thoughts on the Tesla Model S Plaid Edition? Well, I've got a few. First of all, this thing is absolutely insane. It is incredibly fast, but it also has amazing street manners. It has a ton of technology built into it. It's very comfortable. It pretty much does everything well. It's very unassuming. And here, that's kind of one of my biggest rubs with this car. It's not a bad looking car, but I really wish a car that is this incredibly fast looked like a McLaren, or it looked like a Lamborghini Aventador or a Koenigsegg or something like that. And the fact of the matter is, this will pretty much troll all of those, and it will do it for essentially 150 grand. And I realize that's still a lot of money for a lot of us, but when you talk about the performance based upon everything else you can compare those types of numbers to, this is an incredible bargain. So I guess it all depends on, it's all relative, right? It all depends on your perspective. But I'm a fan of this. There are some things that I would take a lot of getting used to. Like I said, the steering wheel, the fact that it brakes by itself, just all the little controls, the steering, the blinkers, all of that stuff, take getting used to. The fact you got to plug it in to charge it. It's just very, very different. But as we know, this is the way the world is headed right now, guys. So anyway, let me know. Let me know what you think about this Tesla Model S Plaid. I'm kind of interested to see how it contorted my face on acceleration. And I will just catch you guys on the next one. So until then, RacerX.